Sitting up tall, long spine, hands wherever they feel right, whether they're in your lap or on your knees or at the heart center. Drawing the shoulders back, down, and away, relaxing the muscles of your face and your jaw. Let's just sit for a moment, grounded here in this space. Noticing the breath. And doing a check-in of yourself physically and emotionally right now. So notice your body, notice where you're feeling, whatever the feelings are. And so I've been feeling a lot of anxiety lately, and it's right here in my chest. So I'm going to set my intention today to work through that feeling. Not to let go of it, not to drop it on my mat where I can pick it up later, but to work through that, to use my breath to transform that feeling of anxiety and tightness in my chest to lightness in my chest and to a lightness in my body and my spirit. So I invite you to think about that for a moment, where you're feeling what you're feeling right now, whatever it might be. And if you're already feeling peace and calm, then just continue to cultivate that through your practice. And if there's something else going on with you physically or emotionally, name it, know it, and let's work to transform it with our breath and this practice. And let that become your intention for your practice today, the reason why we come to our mat. And it always begins with the breath. Deep, full inhales and exhales in through the nose and back out through the nose. Start to add some movement, maybe swaying a little bit from side to side. Like a tree would sway in the wind. Noticing the breath, making this as slow or as fast as it feels right. And if thoughts come into your mind, allow them to come, but then just gently press them away. Use the breath and the movement to stay right here, focused in the grounding and the centering of our practice. Add a little bit more movement. We call this dancing lion. We'll do it seated. Go in one direction until you feel led to change directions, and then go ahead and change directions when that feels right. Continue to stay in this movement for a few more breaths. And then coming back to seated, arms come up with a back bend, interlace your hands, let your head fall back. Another big breath in and out here a few times. Hands reach up and twist to either side. Doesn't matter which way you go, as long as you do both. Reach up and twist to the other side. If you have a block or a pillow or a book, bring it close by. We're going to be using it today. And if you don't have one, that's fine too. Inhale, reach. And then light your mat up, tabletop position. So your feet are hip distance apart. I want you to tuck your toes so that you really feel the bottoms of your feet. And bring your fingers open wide like big starfish on your mat. If your knees bother you, you can roll your mat up a few times or use a pillow. Let the belly drop and the chest open with the inhale. And exhale, tuck your toenails down and press the floor away. Cat, stretch spine, tuck your chin. Go ahead and do that a few times at your pace with the breath. Really noticing the body and the connection to the breath right here. Noticing if the thoughts are still rushing in, and then gently just push them away. refocusing yourself back to the breath and the movement. Dial your fingertips back, stretch your wrists a little bit, maybe rock from front to back. You could even turn your hands upside down and just kind of make some movement here, stretching out the wrists. Adding in some more motion, we can just simply go from front to back, child's pose to hip flexors, or maybe you want to make big circles, dancing lion, now on tabletop. So really get centered with the breath and the body movement, and notice what feels good in your body. So move around freely in this part of our practice. Maybe you just want to sit back in child's pose and rest, or maybe you're finding the movement feels really good in your body. Maybe you sat all day. And so whatever it is, let it be what you need. Moving the right hand to center, left hand to hip, and take a twist. Look up over the shoulders, see if you can stack them, and then reach the hand to sky, making big circles in both directions. Really opening up that shoulder joint, feeling movement. And then reach, 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 reach again, and then exhale, switch sides. Stacking the shoulders again. The twist comes from the middle of your spine. Reach the hand up and find some space. Both directions. And hand back up to the sky. Both hands come down, tabletop. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, bend your knees, turbo facing dog. It's down dog with bent knees, and yogis, I invite you to keep those knees as bent as you need to through the practice. It should never hurt. Go ahead and walk it out. Notice what it feels like to start to straighten as much as it feels comfortable for you. And then start melting the chest back towards the thighs. If this hurts your wrist, come to forearms, or stay in tabletop. Shake your head yes, let all the tension of the day just drip out the top of your head. And then shake your head no, releasing anything that didn't serve you today, whether it was words or actions or feelings. Walk your hands back to your feet, hang in a forward fold, ragdoll heavy, hands to opposite elbows, bend the knees and sway a little bit from side to side. Prepare for another twist, right hand down, right knee bent, left hand hip twist. And then again, reach the hand up, finding more space, this time in the back of the left leg. So really press through the back of the glute in that left side. You're gonna feel this in your hip and your shoulder, low back. Again, if you have the block and you wanna bring the floor a little bit closer, you can use the block, switch sides, or a pillow. So whatever you have available. And then we're going to straighten the right leg and really press through that back of the glute and the hip and the hamstring. Nice. Release both hands down and slowly roll to standing. And then let's take a back bend of your choice. So maybe just a tiny little one. Maybe the hands are in your back pockets and you're opening the chest. Maybe the head falls back, maybe it doesn't. And then standing tall, mountain pose, feet are hip distance apart, arms are down by your sides. Before you come to stillness, start to kind of rock a little bit. And maybe even swing your arms a little bit, tapping your kidneys. Before we come to the stillness of mountain pose, find a little movement. Continuing to move the breath through the body. And then finding that stillness, maybe one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly, noticing the heart beating, really feeling the breath settle down. Notice the thoughts, allow them to come and go freely, like the breath moves through your body. slide hands to prayer, touching together at heart center. Step your feet together, one big leg, and the right knee comes to your chest. Curl your toes up and find action. Maybe reach the hands up to the sky. If the hands can stay connected, do that. If the shoulders are coming up too high, open the arms. If you need to hold on to something, hold on to something. Send the leg to me. Feel the leg engage. Squeeze the quad. Breathe. Lots of balance here. Step forward and tilt to warrior three balance. Beautiful. Breathe. Arms can come out like airplane wings or forward like stick pose. Keep pressing through the back heel, squeezing in the standing leg, turning the hips to square and breathe. Balance and flexibility and strength with the breath. The left knee comes to your chest and stand tall. Hips, feet hip distance apart. Let's go ahead and find some more space. Whether you windshield wiper the arms or whether you make big circles with the hips. Or maybe you do both. Feet together, mountain pose again. Left knee comes to your chest, curl the left toes up, reach the arms overhead, maybe the fingers touch to prayer or maybe not. Send the foot out, try not to lean back. So really sit up tall here, feeling the core engage and the leg engage, and breathe. Step forward, warrior three again. Hips square and the breath is strong. Legs are strong, floating and standing. Knee to chest, hands to heart, and we step down. Inhale, sun salutation. Reach to the sky. And exhale, forward fold, bend the knees as much as you need to. The hands can slide to shins or earth. Lengthen the spine as you look forward, and then walk, step, jump, or float to plank pose, and let's hold plank strong. If it's too much right now to hold strong plank, then take your knees down, tabletop. If you're in the strong plank and you're feeling like you'd like to move with strength, go ahead and take some push-ups, and if you don't want to move with strength, then just take some cat-cow or dancing lion. So again, this is your choice. It's your body. It's your practice. You take what you need. We'll meet in downward facing dog or child's pose. Shaking the head gently, yes, as you invite the breath into the body. Freeing up those places and the spaces in you that may be stuck. Where you feel the stress, the anxiety, the anger, the loneliness, all those things that we feel in our bodies. Let's transform that energy with our breath and our movement. Look to your hands and journey to the top of your mat. Walk, step, jump, or float. Inhale again and lengthen the spine, hands, shins, thighs, or earth. Exhale, melt and fold, bend the knees. And inhale, rise with a back bend of your choice. And then mountain pose again. And when we come to our mat, at the top or the back, in between, we have these moments of these mini meditations throughout our practice where the body is still, where the mind is still. The spaces in between the movement. The transition spaces. There's so much power in those places. the rest between the exertion, the pause to reflect. Feet together, knees together, one big leg, sit back, chair pose. Exhale, fold forward, hands, shins, thighs, or earth. Inhale, lengthen. Walk, step, jump, or float to vinyasa, plank or tabletop. Lower down all the way or halfway. Upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, press back. Downward facing dog. We're going to slow it down a little bit. So move the left foot to center, raise the right foot up to sky. Now open hip on hip. Make some movement with that right leg. Maybe even elevate up on those left toes. Find some space maybe in the hip here. And always the breath, yogi. Where is the breath right now? Really bring it strong, slow, and steady into the belly. The knee comes to nose, shoulders over wrists, pull up and in, and now slide the foot in between the hands, low lunge. Come up on all 10 fingertips, and then spin the back heel gently to tap as we rise just halfway up, really feeling the legs and the core act. And then all the way up for warrior one, sinking down into front knee lunge, pressing through the outside edge, hips and shoulders square, and we breathe. Come forward, fingertips graze the mat, step back either to plank, or if you want more, three-limb vinyasa, the right leg reaches for the sky, we come forward for three-limb vinyasa, or four or none. Exhale back, down dog or child's pose. So yogis, if you need a break here, take a break. If not, we're moving towards the other side. Right foot moves to center, left toes to sky, and then open hips and find space. Notice if the breath is getting more shallow and open it up again. Really feel the breath, the prana, the energy flowing through your body. Knee to nose plank, foot between hands, low lunge. On the fingertips, ready to pounce. The right heel steps down. We come halfway up, feeling the root of our feet in the earth. Rise to stand, warrior one. With breath. Arms reach back towards the earth, step back to plank or three-limb vinyasa or no vinyasa at all, and just meet me back in down dog or child's pose. So that's your choice, yogis. Wherever you are in this moment is where you need to be. So if that's adding in push-ups here in between the space, take that. If that's resting in child's pose, then take that. If down dog is your resting place, take that. And if maybe you have an inversion in your practice, then do that. Yogis, give yourself permission to do what makes you feel right on your mat for your practice. We journey towards the top of the mat, either walk, step, jump, or float. When we reach the top of the mat, hands to shins, thighs, or earth, lengthen. Exhale, fold, mouth, let it go. Bend the knees, sit back, Utkatasana, chair pose. Stand tall, mountain pose. Right knee comes to your chest. Tree pose, foot inside inner thigh, or maybe above or below the knee or to the earth. If your hips are feeling really open, maybe you take the half lotus. So again, notice where your body is, honor that, and find your posture for 5 breaths. Step down, sit back, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Halfway lengthen, and then vinyasa or meet me in downward facing dog. Walk, step, jump, maybe float your way through the vinyasa. Exhale back. Downward facing dog. Right foot steps through, low lunge, back heel spins. We rise up, warrior one. Release the hands to tap, step back to plank. Press back to down dog or take vinyasa or extra push-ups. Up dog or cobra, exhale. Downward facing dog, left foot steps through, right heel spins, rise up, root down, breathe. And vinyasa again. Or no. Taking 5 breaths here in between, or another version of whatever it is you like. Maybe some verbal exhales, letting go of the day. Noticing the transformation happening in your body, in your mind, and your soul. As we breathe and move and make connection to ourselves, to our breath, to each other, to the universe. Journey to the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen when you get there. Exhale and fold. And inhale, sit back, chair pose again. Stand tall. Left side tree, left knee up. Tree pose, yogi's choice, for 5 full breaths. Step down, sit back, chair pose. Up on your tiptoes, halfway down, half chair. Reach out, now reach back like you're downhill skiing and squeeze into those thighs as you come high on the tiptoes. And we breathe here. Option 1, forward fold. Option 2, crow pose. Forward fold or crow. We venture back into vinyasa and we meet in down dog. Walk, step, jump, or float. Up dog or cobra. Exhale, meeting back. Downward facing dog. Together we take a big inhale and sigh it out. Shake that head, yes. Another big inhale with a big sigh. Right foot steps through, low lunge. Left hand down, right hand up, twist. Reach towards me and really spin the chest open. Maybe roll to the outside edges of one or both feet. And breathe. Both hands down, little quarter turn, wide stance fold, feels so good. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, yogi's choice. Options are headstands or plank pose, wide legs, or push-ups, wide legs, or alternate leg stretching. Yogi's choice. That means you get to pick what you want to do. Maybe you just want to hang right here in a forward fold. When you're ready, let the breath bring you up to standing as you turn your right toes forward, finding warrior 2. Breathe. If you have the block, put it inside your foot and then tilt down, side angle pose. Without the block, elbow to knee. Another option is a half bind. Another option is a full bind. Another option is a bird of paradise or near lamba. Yogis, you choose where you want to be right now for 5 full breaths. Making sure the knee is right over the ankle, shoulders and hips are open, and the breath is strong. Stay with your variation with a few more cleansing breaths. And then sweep back, exalted warrior, keep the front knee bent. Any variation you feel like in the arms. And cartwheel back down, low lunge. Step back to plank. Lower down, take push-ups, or meet me in downward facing dog. Left foot steps through, low lunge. Spin it open on one or both outside edges and find some space here on the left side. Any variations you take, take. Find your breath strong and steady. Little quarter turn to the back of your mat for wide stance fold. Again, your choice. Wherever you'd like to be, I'd like you to be here. So listen to your body. Maybe alternate legs here feel good. You want to linger. Maybe there's a twist or an inversion or anything at all that feels right. Always thinking about the breath, how it moves with the body, and how the body responds and moves back with the breath. Let's come halfway up, turn the left toes forward, getting ready for warrior two, preparing for warrior two. Knee over ankle, back hip sinks down, hips, shoulders open, hands out like a T, and we sink in, warrior two. Side angle pose options. I use a block. You can use elbow to thigh. You can also take a half bind or a full bind or a bird of paradise or any other variation that you like. Wherever you are, honor your body and your breath. And then float back, exalted warrior. Again, arms are up to you wherever they feel right. But everything's open here, especially the side body rib cage, intercostal muscles between the rib cage, hips and shoulders, sinking down into that front leg. And we breathe. Cartwheel the hands down, step back to plank. Lower down your way, meet me in child's pose or down dog, or add more power. Option to come to the back of your mat seated, hands in your lap, or option to take yet another bunny trail off to the side, whether that's an inversion or some more power, or anything that you feel you need right now. We'll jump to squat, and if squat doesn't feel right for you and you really just want to take it easy, just continue to sit here either on your bottom or on your feet and just take a moment to breathe. If you're with me and you want a little more, hands come down to the earth and we jump the feet open to squat. Taking 5 yogi burpees if you want them. If not, you can stay in squat, and if not, you can be seated here in bound angle or seated any way you like. But if you're taking the yogi burpees, you're coming to squat. Hands come down, we jump back for a push-up and back to squat. Hands come down, jump back, push up, up, and squat for 1. Beautiful. And do it again for 2. 3. 4. 5. Beautiful. Wherever you are, find downward facing dog. So maybe you jump back and find one more vinyasa, cobra or up dog, and then downward face. Big breaths in and out. Right foot steps through, cartwheel open, warrior 2. Straighten out your front leg. Heel toe your back foot in. Find your block, book, or pillow. Hand on it, and then reach up. Hips and shoulders square for triangle pose. Eye gaze up or down. Breathe into the space. If you'd like a little bit more challenge to the core, take both hands maybe with the block, hold it halfway out, or without the block, and just hover. Reach up and back, exalted triangle. And then nice and easy, with control, come back to triangle pose again, second time. Option 1 is to stay here. Option 2 is to slide the front hand forward, kick the back leg up for half moon posture. We're opening the hips and shoulders. Again, triangle pose, you can stay right there or you can find the half moon. Any variation you like. Maybe there's a bind. Maybe you're floating it. We all meet up with our feet in triangle, hands out to the sides, and then hands to hips, turn forward, and turn that back foot forward as well. Little back bend here, opening the heart, and then exhale, forward fold right over that front leg. Bend the knee if you need to here, use the block. Or all the way to the earth. You can also come up on the back tiptoe. Option here to level up is if you want to take a standing split balance, or maybe even a handstand if that's in your practice. If you like to take full splits on the earth, feel free to do that too. This is really up to you where you want to go. Maybe you just want to chill right here in this head to knee pose. So, yogi's choice. Wherever you decide to go is where you're meant to be. Meet me here in head to knee pose, Parsvottanasana, with the block inside the right foot or a book or pillow. The left hand, make an L, that's how you know it's the correct one, stays down on the earth, and the right hand comes to hip, and this might be enough right here. It's called twisted triangle. If you're feeling like you want a little more, the hand reaches up to the sky, and the twist opens more, shoulders stack. Feel free to stay here, or if you'd like a little more, hand comes out, revolved half moon, open up. Breathe. Meet me in forward fold at the top of your mat, no matter where you are. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale and fold again. Inhale, lengthen. Option crow, jump back, or just walk back and meet me in down dog. Your choice. and downward facing dog. Left foot steps through, cartwheel open, warrior two. Straighten out the front leg, heel toe the back foot in, arms open, reach forward, lift up out of the rib cage, triangle pose. Look up or down. Keep opening that back hip, stacking the shoulders. Breathe. Come back to center and then exalt this triangle. Reach up and back, finding space and opening and length and breath. Back to center, second triangle, or optional half moon, stepping forward with the hand and lifting the back leg up. Still stacking shoulders and hips, and still the breath. Maybe a bind. Legs come back to triangle, hands to hips. Turn to face the front, turn the back toes forward so the hips can square. Take a little back bend here, and then exhale, forward fold. Bend that front knee as much as you need to. Find the floor closer to your hands or all the way down. Yogi's choice here on what you'd like to do, whether it's a standing split balance or staying right here or maybe full splits. You guys decide what it is that makes you feel good. We meet back in the head to knee pose. Hips and shoulders square, right hand down. Step the back foot closer if needed, left hand to hip with a twist. Stay here, exalt the arm to the sky and twist in a little bit deeper. Revolving triangle. Option here to stay or come forward again for this head to knee, or take the hand out for the revolved half moon. Lift up and open.